I'm Lisa Garr, and welcome to The Aware Show, a weekly show that brings you transformational tools and techniques that you can actually use today to inspire your positive growth and change in yourself and in others. Every single week, I will bring you new, cutting-edge information that will help you improve the quality of your life in any way you choose. Do you want incredible health, connected relationships, flourishing finances, cutting-edge science? Whatever it is, consider The Aware Show to be your trusted place for lifelong learning, because for over a decade, I have built trusting relationships with my guests and with my audiences. And if you're just new to The Aware Show, or if you've been a fan for a long time, I always encourage you to listen to your own truth and to stay aware.
Hello, hello, hello. I am very excited about this segment here that we're talking about because it has to do with miracles and living in the miracle zone. So how many times in your life have you set out to do something and you quit because maybe you got distracted or you got discouraged or you got disappointed by something and realized, oh, it's not worth it anyway? And there's so many different things that you've tried in life, where you've tried affirmations or you've tried visualizations, you've tried all sorts of different things, but it really never worked for you. And have you wondered why? Has there ever been a support system where you can actually stick with something, where there's a coach involved and a mentor and other mentors and a community? How cool would that be? Well, that is something that my dear friend Marci Shimoff created with Deborah Poneman, and they created Your Year of Miracles. Now, Marci has created so much in her life. She's a #1 New York Times bestseller. She's of the Chicken Soup for the Women's Soul series. She created an amazing amount of success, over 15 million books sold for that. She also is the author of Happy for No Reason, Love for No Reason. And you can tell just by the way that she's very committed to that in her life. So, hi, my friend.
Hi, it's always so great to be here with you, Lisa, and with everybody watching. So great to be together.
So why did you create something about your Year of Miracles? Tell me why.
Well, as you know, Lisa, my whole thing was about being happy. I came out of the womb depressed. I was an unhappy kid, and I chased after everything I thought I could in order to be happy. I created a lot of success in my life, and I had this kind of turning point moment in my life I told you about before, where it was in 1998. I had 3 books in the top 5 on the New York Times bestseller list. I would just finish speaking to 8,000 people. I had signed 5,432 books. I felt like this author rock star. Everything was working the way I thought it should work to be happy. And I went up to my hotel room after autographing that last book, and I just fell onto the bed and I burst into tears because I felt like I felt empty inside. Something wasn't working. My life didn't, even though I was working really hard and making things happen, I wasn't happy. And I decided in that moment I was going to find out what it was that would take to really be deeply, truly happy. I couldn't fool myself into thinking that just the next thing was going to bring me happiness. And I think so many people are in that trap. We think, oh, if I get this, then I'll feel great. And then we get disappointed because we might feel great for a short period of time, but it goes away. So I ended up doing all these things that actually worked to make me happy. And then about 4 years ago, Lisa, I found myself waking up every morning going, my life is miraculous. I am living in this flow where just things show up that are exactly what I need to show up, where there's an effortlessness, where there's just this amazing energy running my life that's kind of even beyond what I could have done. And that's when I started writing about the Miracle Zone. And I know you know that experience. Have you had that experience before?
Yes, I have, and then I fall off it. And that's where I'm looking for the consistency around it. I mean, I know that you've studied a lot of spirituality. You know people who have sat with gurus before. And I always think about this in the extreme zone of the Maharishi or Yogananda, or these people that really created miracles because everything they saw was one. But that takes extreme dedication and focus and mountaintop mentality, right? How do we do that?
It doesn't. It doesn't. Here's the great news about that. We don't have to spend, 20 hours a day sitting in a cave to have our life be in that miracle zone. So what you're talking about is these great masters throughout time have put themselves in tune with what you might call the flow of nature. And so they get this support of almost like divine grace. In fact, let me define for you miracles in just a moment, because it has to do with divine grace. But what I found is you don't need that. What we need are certain specific practices, and then a community around us of people who are living in that same energy, because that supercharges it for us. So, it never would have happened for me if I'd had to go off and live 20 years in a cave, meditating 20 hours a day, because that's not who I am. Can't do that, not for me.
Right.
So this really is for those of us who are living in everyday lives, in this crazy world in which we are.
In the overachiever space. I don't find that as a bad label. I'm a super achiever. I'm not an overachiever.
Right. You're here. You know what it is? You're here to live your life's destiny, which is a magnificent, miraculous life. And that is honestly what we are all here for.
Yes.
We are not here to just survive. We are here to live these magnificent lives that are the expression of our true soul. And that's it.
Yes. And we are not here to fall back asleep. That's very easy to do. But especially in today's times with extreme change becoming the new normal, that we are just going to have to get accustomed to things not being the same again. Recreation, reinvention, change, systems, structures breaking down. The resilience is the key to this, and creativity in creating our miracles, because sometimes yesterday's miracle isn't the same as today. Is it different for you?
Yeah. Well, you're absolutely right. It's about being with what the current moment, the current day brings about. And, I want to define miracle, because people think, okay, we're talking some airy fairy thing. What are you even talking about?
Right.
So here's what the dictionary says about miracle. A miracle is a welcome and unexpected event that can't necessarily be explained by science, and I'll add the word yet, but that is considered an act of divine grace. And so what I like to think of a miracle as is, well, here's the thing. We can't create miracles. By definition, they're an act of grace. But what we can do is we can create the conditions for miracles to flow in our lives. And so a miracle for you may be a healing. A miracle for another person may be a healing of a relationship, or the ability to let go of a relationship. A miracle may be work that is more aligned with who you are. It may be greater abundance in your life. It may be a deeper sense of love or inner peace. So a miracle is going to be different, but it's really about living in that state where where you're plugged in. Athletes might call it the zone.
Right.
We're calling it, the miracle zone, where you're just in that flow of life and life feels good. That doesn't mean everything happens exactly the way you think it should happen, but it means you feel in the flow.
So, and this is very important, because being in the flow doesn't mean that every single thing is completely working. It just means that feeling of something's missing, you're not on purpose, that goes away. And
that goes away. And I'll also say this. You may not get everything you think you want, but you have this feeling that what you get is what's right for you. So here's a really interesting thing. When I interviewed hundreds of people who are unconditionally happy, I found that one of the things that they have in common is that they share this belief that we live in a friendly universe. Einstein said that the most important question you can ask yourself is this a benevolent universe? And they would always say yes. Now, that didn't mean that everything would go their way or what they thought their way was. What it meant was they felt that the universe was on their side. So even if things happened that weren't what they wanted to have happen, they deeply felt like it was for their highest good. And so instead of acting like a victim,
Right.
like, why did this happen to me? They would come in with the question instead, if this were happening for a higher purpose, what would that be? So I want everyone who's listening right now, I want you to think about something in your life that's going on right now that may not be happening the way you want it to happen or the way you think it should happen. And then ask yourself, if this is happening for a higher purpose, what might that be? And honestly, if you reflect on your life, you will find that some of the most important turning points in your life have been because of things that you didn't think you wanted to have happen. I mean, Lisa, look at you in your life. You know, your bike accident.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have wished that, and yet it's brought you the life that you have.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm reflecting on my brother who just had his car stolen out of his driveway. And it was just a shocking experience to walk out and not see your car. And he had a bunch of things in it that he loved. And it's taken him about 2 weeks. And I talked to him yesterday, and he said, you know, the good thing out of this is, and I'm like, wow, gosh, good job. You've already figured out the blessing on getting your car stolen. It's a brand new car.
Good for him.
Yeah.
You know, most people wait years to find the blessing in it. And the people who are in the miracle zone, they do it like your brother did.
And it's an obvious thing that is a pain, like a really like negative. You would look at that as being a really negative thing. But he's found out some way to use the money that he was going to use to get a new car. And he's actually, he's an inventor. So he's been able to buy a less expensive car and actually use that extra money to create a new mold for an invention that he's doing and that he didn't have before. And then that invention is actually going to turn around and make him so much more money. So it's just amazing how the universe works, right?
It is. You know, there's this great little fable, and you may have heard it before, but I think it applies so perfectly here, of a farmer. And this farmer had his beloved horse. He loved his horse so much. And one day his horse ran away. And the villagers in the community came and said to him, oh, what bad news. Your horse ran away. And he said, bad news, good news, who knows? And the next week the horse returned. And the community came and said, oh, how lucky, your horse came back. And he said, good news, bad news, who knows? And the next week, his son was riding on the horse, and his son broke his leg. And the villagers said, oh, what bad news, your son broke his leg. And the farmer said, good news, bad news, who knows? And the week after that, they collected all the able-bodied young men to take them off to war. But his son didn't have to go because his leg was broken. And the villager said, what good news? And he says, good news, bad news, who knows? So the idea is we can never really know, but to be happiest, you always take that feeling, that belief, the universe is on my side, and this is happening out of love for me.
Yeah. We always look back and we could find the reason. And if we don't find it, we got to look for it because it'll come up again and again and again and again. Okay, so tell me why you created a year-long mentoring program with your Year of Miracles.
So what I've known over the years, and I'm sure you've had the experience too, is that weekend workshops are fabulous. They can do a lot to jumpstart you, but very soon people start to go back into some old habits.
Yeah.
And so what we found is we created this year-long program called Your Year of Miracles, and everybody comes up with we walk you through a process where you come up with 3 miracle intentions at the beginning of the year. It's a very profound process that they're things that are a stretch. You know, like, wow, if I could really have that happen, that would be amazing. And then we walk you through the program of how consistently to work with different aspects, your feelings, your thoughts, your body, and we also get collective support, thousands of people putting their intention on your intentions. And do you know that at the end of the year, 94% of people's intentions have come true? 94%. And what we've done is we've put you gradually into new habits. So every few weeks, you're starting new habits that ultimately will end up where you now have a life where you know how to stay in the miracle zone.
So do you create this? I love that you support people in how to formulate their their miracles? Is there a specific structure on how to do that?
Yeah, well, what we do is we walk you through a very, very profound guided meditation visualization. We work with some NLP principles, neuro-linguistic programming principles. We move forward into the future, and you basically meet your future self, the future self that you are, that is your true destiny. So we connect you with your destiny, and then we look backwards at how that happened.
Yeah. So then you're able to really have that visual picture to be able to run through the year with. So now monthly people get on the call or get on a workshop with you basically and work from a perspective, a theme, right?
Yes, every month there's a different theme. So one month it's self-love. And a little later on, maybe you and I can talk a little bit about self-love, which is a key. Another month it might be abundance. Another month is health. Another month is relationships. So we're looking at all areas of our life and how to live them in light of our thoughts, clearing space, how to live them in life of miracles. And we also have amazing guests. Healers come on and do energetic healing work. And it's so interesting because the intuitives and the healers who've been with us have all commented that they've never experienced an energy like the coming together. These days, people, I know a lot of people watching right now might be saying to themselves, I've done everything right. I do the visualization. I do the this. I do the that. What's holding me back? Well, it may not be just you holding you back. It may be the energy and the intentions of the people around you that are holding you back. So what we do is we make sure to get you in an energetic zone where there are other people around you, showering your intentions with their intentions to supercharge them. And that's a lot of where the miracle juice is.
That's great, because that phrase, you're the sum of the 5 people you surround yourself with. And if you could really up-level and intentionally up-level people that you surround yourself with, you could use that as an experiment to see how it changes. When you're surrounding and offering people to be surrounded with people like Jack Canfield and John Gray and Lisa Nichols and Marianne Williamson, my goodness.
Yeah. People who are living in the miracle zone.
Yes, that's very, very cool. And so you give people a lot on top of just, the monthly calls. There's a lot of different bonuses that go along with this as well, right?
Yeah, every Monday you get a Monday Miracle message in your inbox.
Nice.
And what people find is it's exactly the message that they need to hear at that time.
Yes.
And you also have a miracles group that you meet with twice a month. And there are lots of other pieces to it. It doesn't feel overwhelming though, because it's just, it's a way of life for the year. And honestly, my feeling is that if you're watching this right now, your soul called you to this. There's something in your soul that's saying, you know what, now is my time. 2017 is my year. This is the time to take a quantum, to really live my life that way that I know is possible for me.
Yeah.
And so it's,
I think the consistency really helps. So somewhere around April, where the honeymoon phase wears off, maybe even February of the goal setting frenzy in January, and people have set their new weights. They're going to lose 5 pounds. They're going to make more money. They're going to work less and spend more time with their family. And why do you think that starts to chip away and go away at the end of January?
Yeah. By the way, by the end of January, 50% of people have given up on their intentions.
There's a reason.
By the end of the year, only 8% of people have followed through on their January intentions.
Wow.
Part of it is people are setting their intentions in the wrong way. And we teach people how to reset their intentions. Most people set what I call ego-based intentions. And we teach people how to create soul-based intentions. When we're trying to create from the ego, it's always the energy of struggle, of contraction. You feel just, ugh, if I set a goal for myself, I'm going to lose 20 pounds. It kind of is, it's like, ugh. That's an ego-based intention. A soul-based intention makes you feel open, makes you feel excited, makes you feel expanded. That's the energy of love. And so we teach you how to shift from an ego-based to a soul-based intention.
Now, you make this program for women only, right?
Well, we do, and we've had so many men say, "Hey, what about us?"
Yeah.
We do have, men, if they want to join, they can. But we did it specifically for women because, first of all, Deborah and I are women. And I think women have some unique challenges, and we can really speak to and relate to those. So it's really this beautiful tribe of 98% women and 2% brave men.
No, I mean, that's fantastic. And I think what you've created is so terrific. And it's helpful for everyone who wants to create a different experience in your life, no matter what you've tried in the past. Just kind of let it go for now and try to create something new for your life. So, how do you set a goal out of self-love? How do you set a soul's goal?
Well, so there's two aspects to this, and I'm going to get really practical right now, if that's okay. I want to give people some real good, juicy, some things you can do right away.
Thank you.
So I want you to take a look at, set a list of 10 intentions for yourself for the year, and just set them the way you normally would. I'm going to make X amount of money. I'm going to lose X number of pounds. And then read through that list and notice whether you feel expanded or contracted. Now, anytime you feel contracted, you are in the energy of fear or the energy of the ego. Anytime you feel expanded, you're in the energy of love and joy. And can we just do since it's visual here, let's do a little quick experiment. I'd like to show people the difference in energy, and you'll feel it. Is that okay? Can we do something?
Yes, for sure.
Okay, so I want everybody right now to curl up into a little ball, get really tight. Lisa, yeah, perfect. And on the count of 3, I want you to say, I feel happy. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. I feel happy. Okay, sit up. You probably didn't feel all too happy. How did you feel, Lisa?
Felt like going to sleep.
Exactly. You felt contracted. Hard to feel good, hard to feel creative when you're contracted. The opposite is also true when you're expanded. It's hard to feel bad. So I want you to go like that. And on the count of 3, we're going to say, I feel depressed. Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
I feel depressed.
Depressed. Do you feel depressed?
No.
No. You probably feel pretty good.
Yes.
What does this mean? It means we want to walk around in the energetic state of expansion. You don't have to walk around like this all day long. People will lock you up. But you want to walk around in the energy of expansion. So when you look at your list of New Year intentions, take a look at which ones make you feel like this, which ones make you feel like that. The ones that make you feel like this are your ego-based intentions. I want to lose 20 pounds. Okay, why do you want to lose 20 pounds? Well, I want to lose 20 pounds so that I can like myself more. That's ego. I want to lose 20 pounds so that people will like me more, so that people won't judge me. I want to lose 20 pounds so that my old boyfriend can see me looking like this. I want to lose 20 pounds so my old boyfriend's new girlfriend can see me looking like this. So ego. The other way is more in line with your soul. Now, the same outcome, but here's the soul's way you would say that. I am fit and healthy in my body, in a radiant body that reflects my spirit.
Yes.
Now, notice you're going for the same outcome, but that makes you feel expanded. And that's more of a soul intention.
Yes.
I'll give you another quick example. One of the women that was in our program, her name is Colleen. She's a psychiatrist. And Colleen used to set all of her goals of making more money. And she was always struggling. And we did this slight little shift of moving from an ego intention to a soul intention. And I said, so what is it inside you? Why do you want to make more money? She said, well, really, I want to write and speak. That's what I'm here to do right now. And I need more money so that I can write and speak. I said, okay, let's write it this way. I have the abundance to do the writing and speaking that I am here on the planet to do. That made her feel a whole lot more expanded. 2 weeks after she shifted that, she got a phone call out of the blue from an old friend, colleague from 10 years earlier. He was opening up a new psychiatric clinic and he wanted her to come work for him. He offered her twice the hourly fee that she was currently getting, twice.
Wow.
So she could work for him 2 days a week and or 2.5 days a week, make the same amount of money, and it freed her up to go do her writing and speaking. Her book is published, she's out there speaking, and she loves what she does. That's how things happen when we shift the energy at which we're approaching something.
See, now that I love that you mentioned service also. So I do feel that when you add contribution to your goal, it widens it, and then it reciprocates the support of the universe. I mean,
yes,
you
as
get
long as you are not always being in the energy of codependent giving, where a lot of people have a problem, and this is another big area that we work on. One of the biggest blocks that people have to living in the miracle zone is not being able to receive.
Yes.
So yes, I want to absolutely highlight what you said. When it's in that sense of contribution, yes. But when it's to the degree where you're always giving and you're not able to open up to receive, then you're going to have problems. So where we really have issues is in the area of self-love and worthiness. When you don't feel worthy of receiving, you know, there's miracles all out there. They're all around, but sometimes they can't come into you because you don't feel worthy of them. And main areas that these show up are in relationships. And I will say this, especially with women, they aren't able to open up to a relationship that they want, the quality of what they want, because at some level, deeply, unconsciously, not consciously, they don't feel worthy of it.
Yes. Yeah. They don't feel like they could sustain that level of receiving. Yeah.
Exactly. And also in the area of money, I mean, I'll tell a really quick story that happened to me. I don't know if I've ever told you this story, Lisa, but 20 years ago, I was attending a workshop with a mentor of mine, now a dear friend, Marianne Williamson. And Marianne was telling everybody that if they didn't raise their level of consciousness and worthiness around money, if it started coming their way, they would do something to sabotage it or lose it. And I remember thinking to myself, no way. There is no way in the world that would ever happen to me. Well, sure enough, over the next couple of years, a lot of money started coming my way. And sure enough, on some deep subconscious level, I was not feeling worthy of it. And I proceeded to start losing it. You know, bad investments, this and that. Now, fortunately, I remembered what Marianne had said. I caught it early enough. And I started really deeply working on that worthiness issue. And I was able to turn it around. So it's for every person, I believe we need to raise our worthiness set point, you know.
How do you do that? How do you raise worthiness?
Yeah, deep self-love. So first way is you recognize even the simple, small ways in which you're pushing away your good. So I'm going to ask you a few questions and just answer these to yourself. So do you have a hard time receiving compliments? Do you have a hard time receiving gifts? Do you have a hard time receiving acts of service? Somebody tries to help you out. Do you have a hard time asking for help? If somebody gives to you, do you feel like you better give back to them twice as much? You know, all of these are very subtle, simple ways that we are pushing away our good. So the next time you find yourself just holding back from taking in and receiving fully, or holding back from asking for support, turn that around a little bit. The people in life who I notice are living in the miracle zone are beautiful receivers as well as givers.
That is amazing. Have you accomplished that, being able to receive without wanting to overgive?
Well, we teach what we most want to learn. So it's a process, and I am always in the process, but I am getting so much better. And you know, there's this saying, the people can only give to you as much as you're able to receive. I believe it's absolutely the same with the universe. The universe will only give to you to the degree that you open up to receive. And so that really also involves a lot of deep work in the area of worthiness and self-love. We spend an entire month, the month of February, the second month of our program in Year of Miracles, doing that wonderful work of of raising our level of self-love and being open more and more to receiving.
Yeah, that's so important. I can see how this program is so supportive for people. And you've taken thousands of people through this program over the years, and this is brand new every year. You start
Yes.
new with a new group of people. Can they only join at the beginning of the year?
Yes, because it is an entire program that you go through together as a collective, as a group, and it builds on itself. So now is the time. And honestly, there is something about timing in life. What we've found is there is something very special about the new year. The wind is at your back.
Yeah.
It's kind of like really the energy is there for you to move forward. So this is the best time of year to begin something like this, where the energy is just at your back, allowing you to move forward in your life in this way.
And you've had a little bit of introspection and quiet time at the end of the year where things calm down, and just work-wise, definitely not shopping-wise. My God, it's so
really.
But if you could stay within the zone of just your quiet space and rebuild and recharge those batteries, it's a great time to start something new and get excited about starting something new. So it's called Your Year of Miracles. And what do people need to do anything before they sign up, like get a goal together or anything like that?
We walk you through, we take you exactly from the start and walk you through exactly what to do to be in the miracle zone progressively through the year. Now, here's something interesting. People say, well, do I have to wait a year for my miracles to happen? Do you know that we have started just with the intention, just by signing up, people's miracles start happening. It's quite amazing.
Wow.
Your intention puts you right into that flow. We've had people within a few weeks of being in the program, amazing things, truly amazing.
That is so amazing. You create a whole field around this, don't you?
Yeah, it is about that energetic field. You know, our friend and colleague, Lynn McTaggart, writes about the intention experiment. And in her work, she's found that when collective groups of people come together to put their attention on each other's intentions, which is part of what we do, what amazing effects that has. And so we use, we incorporate some of her brilliant knowledge and wisdom as well.
That's amazing. I mean, that's something you cannot replicate. It has to be a group agreement, a coherent field. It has to have a beginning, middle, and an end. You're doing all of it right, and it's wonderful. I just want to be a part of it, just to be a part of the energy and get your wonderful mentorship and Deborah's wonderful mentorship, all your experience, all of your smarts and your ideas around everything is so helpful. You know what to listen for. So thank you so much, Marci. You're just a huge gift to me and to the planet. And I so appreciate your friendship and your mentorship and everything that you contribute to people. Thanks, Marci.
Oh, thank you, Lisa. Lisa, can I leave everybody with one quote?
Yes.
Because I think right now some people may be thinking, oh, but isn't this selfish? What about the world? What am I doing to help the world? And I just want to address that by saying, when you are living your own life in the miracle zone, you are doing one of the best things you can for your family, for your community, and ultimately for the world. And so I share this Chinese proverb that I think sums that up so beautifully. And it says, when there is light in the soul, there will be beauty in the person. When there is beauty in the person, there will be harmony in the house. When there is harmony in the house, there will be order in the nation. And when there is order in the nation, there will be peace in this world of ours. And so may we all feel this light in our souls. May we all live our lives in the miracle zone. And together we can create more peace on this planet of ours.
Oh, you just gave me chills. I love that. Thank you so much for your well wishes for our world and universe. And thank you for doing something about it.
Thank you. I love you, Lisa. Lots of love.
I love you too, Marci. Thank you so much. And remember to we've got the URL for you right there. The Your Year of Miracles. It's an incredible program. Now you can see why. And it's for you to take it from here. Thank you so much. And until next time, I invite you to stay aware.
Let's talk about change. It's the one thing that is the most consistent, change. It happens every moment of every day. The weather changes, the time changes, the day changes, all sorts of things change. But it's the single thing that we're the most resistant to. So let's embrace change for a change. Let's take a different approach to the word change. We just came from a Tony Robbins event, which was a great 4-day immersive event, and he talked a lot about changing your state. So let's take an example of procrastination. Say you need to get something done, something accomplished, whether it's an application or filling out an application for a passport or a new school or a new job or something like that. Or maybe if it's cleaning a closet and decluttering a pantry or getting rid of old food in your refrigerator, whatever it is, okay? Take something that you want to do. Now there's 3 steps to being able to do this. The first step is see it how it is. Why are you not doing that one thing? Are you immersing yourself in social media? Are you spending too much time listening to music? Those things are great and enjoyable, but how much time are you spending on that? So that's the first thing, is to be aware of the time suckers, the things that are taking your time. And so once you're aware of that and you realize that you can really eliminate that, then see it better than it is. See that desired outcome better than it is. See the application completed. See the submit button hit. See the new passport coming in the mail. See the cleaned out pantry from all of the old mustards and things that are probably rancid anyway. See it better than it is. And then the third step in this is to go into action. Make it better. Just do it. That old statement. But you have to do the first 2 things first. See it how it is. See what's blocking you, what's limiting you. Then see it better than it is. See it, the completed task, the completed action, and then go into action. And it will shorten the amount of time that you think it will take to do that specific task. Try it with something small. Make it easy for yourself. And see how well this works. And see how easy it is to change. Thank you so much for watching this episode of The Aware Show. Please leave a comment below and let me know what you think. And also, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will give you some of my favorite bonus gifts. So if you want to subscribe also to my newsletter, you can find the link in the description below. Thank you so much, and until next time, I invite you to stay aware.